Because an optionless man is a necessitous man, and necessitous men are never free.
Right.
So, okay, ladies, what is the most unattractive thing a guy can do or has done? Start with you.
Unattractive.
Unattractive thing a guy can do or has done.
So I don't like people that are alcoholics or have problem with drugs or something like this. So if,
And you're
if a guy-
Polish?
Huh?
Another thing. I'm just like.
So yeah, I that's very unattractive for me. If a guy is like sitting in his house and drinking whiskey by himself and stuff like this. For me,
Bro,
it's
isn't it so weird? People who do by themselves. What the fuck?
In the room.
Like, listen, you should listen. Let me say this real quick.
It is.
Let's just say this really quick. Okay, don't give people coke, don't do drugs. But if you're going to do drugs, I understand if you do them with girls, I kind of get it, right? You're doing them with girls, I get it. If you're going to do drugs by yourself and you're a dude, or you're going to do with your guy friends,
Stop
what?
it.
Somewhere you lost the memo. You have lost the plot, bro. What is going on here? Again, don't do drugs. Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
I think for me, it's lacking motivation. I don't give a what it is you're working towards, but to have some kind of goal, whether that be to better yourself emotionally, better yourself financially. Maybe you just like garden. That's hot. I'll watch you garden. I'll come out. I'll bring you some lemonade. I don't give a come out in a bathing suit. I don't care. But like, just be working towards something. The thing that's most attractive, like when you're a bum, you don't care about anything. That's what's the least attractive to me.
I'm really good. I'm elite at cleaning up cat poop. Like I am world class level.
Dude, come over to my place. I'll put you in touch with my greyhounds and I'll let you pick up their poop.
Yeah.
And that you will be Olympic class.
Incredible at cleaning up cat poop. I have those Lysol wipes literally in every corner of my apartment.
Probably would just be like boy attitude. For example, like going out with a guy and then like them just like wanting to like, you know, like, because I have like this like sex appeal I feel like I give off, like, you know, like really sexy and stuff, but like I feel like I can't control that. So like, you know, I'm just being myself, blah blah blah.
All right.
Yeah,
Matthew McConaughey, what happened?
I'm just like out with.
Armani, what is the most unattractive thing a guy can do or has done?
Okay, piggybacking off of what she said. Definitely lack of motivation, lack of ambition. People need to work towards goals. That's what keeps us alive. Yeah, because I'm such a hard worker and I know what my goals are and I work, I would want someone to match that energy. I hate someone who is lazy, who has no goal.
Yeah.
So kind of piggybacking off of what you said. Okay. And what you had said earlier kind of intrigued me because it's like being around guys who only want to, you know, have sex.
Exactly.
That's frustrating. But I also feel like it depends on the type of vibe you give off, you know?
Yeah.
Even if you are super provocative. You have to learn how to contain that if that's not your intention.
Exactly. You know, I've been a model all these years. I got into it at like age 6. You know, I was like in high school. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a model. So I did it. I manifested it and it happened. And I went to LA and I lived out my dream. Having social media now, like, you know, posting all my like content and everything. I feel like that. And then like men like in your DMs 24/7, like trying to like get my attention. It's just like, bro, like you want one thing. It's hard for me to trust men. I feel like.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
It's hard for me to like trust.
It's hard for me to trust men, and none of them are trying to me. Well, I mean, some of them are, but like, you know what I'm saying. Most of them are not trying. Don't clip that. Don't clip that. Most men are not trying to me. All right.
You know, I've had my fun times. You know, I've lived in the moment. Like, I've had my fun share, and you know, I met a lot of cool people in industry, and it's just like, damn.
And if you don't mind me asking, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. No, what is your line of work? Like, I'm,
you know, like I'm an actress.
I know you said you modeled.
I model. You know, I was featured in Harper's Bazaar. I moved to LA when I was 19. When I was in LA, you know, the first person I met, it was just weird. Like, I just started meeting all these people. I went to like Dave & Buster's, and like I met like French Montana. ASAP Rocky came up to me. He's like, "You're so beautiful. Like, what's your number?" And I'm just like, "I gotta go to the bathroom. Peace out." You know, because I'm just like, I don't know what their intentions are. I've never really gave.
Yeah, I know what their intentions are.
I mean, I know what their intentions are now, but I'm just saying, like, my mindset at the time, like, you know, like I wasn't really sure. So
she's 6'3".
Red. So, what is the most unattractive thing a guy can do or has done?
I think that women look to men for security, and not just like financial security, but mental clarity and security. So for me, it's like a lack of confidence, like insecurity, in a totality, because like women, I'm from a front, even just initially speaking, would be very attracted to a man that's like confident, but that can also be very like egocentric. So a man that's actually confident and not just putting on that front is a huge turn on for me. And you kind of know, I mean, you should know, just based on like, you know, reading his mannerisms and stuff like that, and getting to know him a little bit. But I just do not, I do not get with like insecure men. I can't be around them. I can't have relationships with them in any way.
If you don't believe in yourself, how am I supposed to believe in you? Sorry.
Yes.
But
It's a
again,
turn
like
off.
confidence over cockiness for sure. Because if it's like too inflated, like I'm not dealing with your attitude.
Yeah,
I was kidding. You're not 6'4". How tall are you?
5'11", exactly.
You're 5'11". Okay, I was
Close-
kidding.
close
I
enough.
was just joking, guys. Guys are in the chat like, damn, she's 6'4".
Paris, what's the most unattractive thing a guy can do?
I'm gonna say it this way because I'm not gonna say it in a nice way. I was a man being a little bit,
Ooh,
a little bitch, you
that
know,
word.
feminine tendencies, you know, not,
Simp.
you know, like.
You
You
like
know,
more
like let's say a
masculine?
man wakes up this morning, oh, I don't got no money. What am I gonna do? I don't got no money. Figure it out. It takes one thought. Find a way how to hustle,
Let's
how to
go
get
rob
some
somebody.
money.
Like, that's more work ethic.
Not that initially. Like literally, like there's so much in LA. You don't even have to rob nobody. You know, that's the fact.
You can Riverside. You can sell some dope.
Not selling dope, you know, like we got taxes now in LA. Like there's so much
Start your own
to do.
dispensary.
You know, get your ass up, think what you can make some money, and do it so it could it could happen. Like you know, just crying there, sitting there like, oh, I don't have no money. Oh, everybody's so fake. Oh, I don't have no money. Like that's annoying.
You're
to me.
saying that a victim mentality
A
turns you
victim-
off.
It turns me off because I'm not that way. You know, a lot had happened to me. You know, I'm a survivor. I almost died in 2013. I don't use that as like, oh my goodness, like life is so hard. No, that shit. That's gonna make you tougher. So figure your shit out. Find a way to make
Just
money.
strong-minded.
Right,
So,
exactly.
so what I hear from all these ladies is that an abundance mentality is attractive and a victim mentality is unattractive. Interesting.
True.
That's great.
That's interesting. What makes a guy successful? What do you think? What qualities does a successful man have? And I think you just answered with one of those right there, which is having confidence. I would argue also that confidence is derived from options. It doesn't magically happen. You have to go bust your ass and create and
Yes.
generate options so that
You
you
have
can
to do
be
things that
confident
makes you
in those.
uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, but
You get out of
you've
your
got
comfort zone.
so that you have to do today what others won't, so that tomorrow you can do what others can't.
Yes.
And that's how you get that. You want to know how you gain confidence? You go out there and you bust ass and you create opportunities for
Yes.
yourself, so
Exactly.
that when you get
Absolutely.
to that point, you can choose between the best options for yourself. Because an optionless man is a necessitous man, and necessitous men are never free. So when I was looking at this, I'm like, I would have answered all these questions a whole lot differently, but I wanted to put it to you guys as well, since this is the title of today's show, is what is, just like randomly, you can just rattle, don't say the same thing, because you're probably going to say a thing, but like, give me like 2 qualities that makes a successful guy. And you can't say confidence, because we just talked about confidence.
So I was mentioning this in the break room. Not giving a don't give a don't give a about no one's opinion, because at the end of the day, you can only validate your own opinion because this is your own life. If someone tells you, "Oh, you're not able to do this," them do it anyways.
Perseverance.
Yes.
What's a quality of a successful man?
So I don't know if we're talking in terms of like financial success.
However you
but
want to define it,
how
because
I-
they left it wide open.
Yeah. Because how I see success, like overall, and something that's going to like be in your life for long term and not just short term, it would be like happiness, stability. Like knowing that even if you fall on your ass and you lose all that investments and money and all that stuff, that you still have ground. Because you can build an empire. You can have everything that you've ever aspired to have. You could have more than that. And you could be the most depressed person in the room. And that's what I think is really important for men to like kind of wrap their head around. Like, it's way more important to be happy and to be wholesome than to be financially off just because everyone says you should be.
Armani.
There's like a multitude of ways to define success. Personally, it just depends on the goal. Honestly, I feel as if It's like selective. It depends on what you define success as. Like,
What do you think? What do you think men should define success as? In general,
overall happiness, finding the right person, building an empire. That's what I think success is. And it doesn't matter what level that's in. Rather you want to be on a farm, you know, by yourself or with a partner, raising some cows. If that's your success story, that's your success story. There are bums who think they're successful. It's really a state of mind and a frame of mind. Or if you want to be a millionaire, as long as you work towards that and there's like an end goal, that's what success is to me. It depends on the goal. We can't just, you know, define it in one way.
I would say what makes a man successful is discipline and like knowledge, like being smart, you know, about the way they move, and, you know, like just not, for example, like my ex that like didn't, like, you know, I'm not here to judge or anything, but like, it's like,
oh, we are. Go ahead. Please do. we judge here.
Okay, bet.
Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready to judge.
Are you ready to judge?
You are ready to judge your ass
But,
off.
like,
Put a
you
1 in the
know,
chat.
Making me feel like and just like, yeah, you can go out, blah, 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 you know, like, you know, works at a weed dispensary. I'm not, you know, whatever.
That's not success? Working at a weed dispensary?
No.
What one quality? How do you think men should define success and give one quality?
I feel like success, like how Armani was saying, is not like defined one way. I think you become successful by not being afraid to fail and then having the perseverance to like continue working towards whatever success looks like to you, even though you might go through hiccups, you know?
Right.
Because you only learn by doing it wrong. You know, that's how you figure out what works and what doesn't. It's just trying and trying again, and then one day it just clicks, you know?
Exactly.
Same recipe.
Alice?
Yeah, I mean, everybody is different, and, you know, everybody thinks that their
Into the mic.
success is...
Into the mic.
Oh, sorry. Their success looks different, but I think the most important thing is to basically have some sort of idea about yourself. I feel like a lot of men are just going through the life, they have no idea what they're doing. They're like, oh, I want this, and I want this, and I want this, but at the same time, they're not making anything to make those things happen.
Yeah.
So I think that just basically having an idea about yourself and what you want in life and how you want your life to look like.
How about this? There is a man who has money and a man who has the mechanisms with which to get money. If we had to start over, he could write books. I could create another program.
Probably will.
He can sell the stuff. It's not just that we have money, we have the mechanisms with which to make more money, but those mechanisms always deal with men solving problems. And those problems, the bigger the problem we solve, the more money we can make on a regular basis. So having those mechanisms of solving large problems, that to me is what success is. Being born with $50 million, you're doing good. I'm not saying you're not doing good, but that's not success in the same way.
What you have just described, I haven't brought this up in a long time, what you just described is the attraction qualities of men who have creative intelligence. And what that means is this, is if you, and they've done these experiments like adjusting for like the physical attractiveness of the guy. They have like said, okay, do you find this man more attractive or this man more attractive? And usually it's a guy who has come into money, and because of family or whatever, this is his character and his background, right? That has come into money, and he's a good-looking guy. He doesn't have much talent, but his parents, he's already wealthy, and is he more attractive than the guy who has a natural talent and made his money using his natural talent? And that was the first set of questions. Okay, the next set of questions was very similar to that. Is both of these people have come from a disadvantage. One of them won the lottery, and the other one had a lot of money, lost all that money, and then regenerated that money again. And in every single instance, and every time they sort of like rejiggered this whole experiment, it's the guy who has creative intelligence who is able to rebuild the village and rebuild the house after the tornado sweeps through there and breaks through the village. And he comes back and he says, you know what? We're going to try it again. We're going to build an even bigger one this time, because that's just how things are. That's how I'm discontent. Here's how I'm going to creatively deal with my discontent rather than destructively.
Creatively, and learn from your mistakes. And another thing in the company we built, one of the things we did is we looked at the mistakes of the companies around us. For instance, there were several companies that were in our arena that did not pay their employees on time. time. So that was the first thing we did in our company. No one ever complains about not getting paid on time. People were messing with commissions. There were people making promises on sales calls that they couldn't fulfill. So those were the first things we attacked. I've talked to you before about the Lee Iacocca story, where Lee Iacocca takes over Chrysler. And what he does is he gets it so the assembly line has 0 fatalities, 0 accidents. Then when later on he has to negotiate with the labor union, he's negotiating from a place of strength because he's actually fixed some problem. And so that's the other thing. It's not just the creative intelligence definitely is one thing, but it's also learning from your mistakes and learning from other people's mistakes. And that's even if you're an only creator or a star, like you're learning from other people's mistakes. That's another thing that you can do.